Hello. Today it's winter in Pennsylvania, and I find myself spending more time tying flies and making videos and otherwise preparing to go fly fishing. But we've had some snow, some cold, some high water, and I really didn't get to spend much time out on the creek. So instead of doing one of those what's in my fly box videos and or something like that, I'm going to talk a little bit about organizing my fly boxes. So first, let me state for the record, not monetized. I don't own a fly shop, and I don't profit from these videos other than just the sheer enjoyment of being engaged in something I really care about and like to do. So I have a phone, I have a laptop that runs on Linux. Now it can't be upgraded to the latest version of Windows, but that's another topic we could complain about. And I have the means to share ideas and talk about fly tying and fly fishing. So let's talk about organizing your fly boxes. For the minimalist, I guess it's possible to use just one box, or if you're just starting out, but after you've been fishing for a while and tying flies and been to several locations, things start to pile up. Add to that the fact that some fly boxes have features that make them better for housing specific sizes or types of flies. Boxes with foam dividers and magnetic bottoms work well for dry flies, little tiny dry flies and midges. The deeper compartment boxes are great for the larger dry flies. I have a streamer box, actually several of them, and they're made to hold the longer flies as streamers and hold the hooks a little tighter, bigger hooks. And I even use empty pill bottles to hold maybe a bundle of squirmy wormies, or I have a large pill bottle that holds a couple of hopper patterns, and I use those in place of floats. I find that the round floats, either by appearance or by the telltale plop when they land on the water, spook some of the more fished over trout in some of our spring creeks or heavily traveled areas. The inspiration for this idea was, well, it came from Scott from PA Woods and Waters. And while watching his videos, I started to watch his approach and how he typically fishes. And he usually uses a three fly rig. So I have a tendency to oversimplify things. So in my mind, I'm looking and he has a top, a middle, and a bottom. I guess that kind of represents the three distinct areas of the water column, um, but not necessarily how it works in real life. But his top fly tends to be an egg pattern, something that maybe catches a fish's attention, and oftentimes and throughout the year, fish will take those just as readily as anything else. And then in the middle, he'll use a larger nymph sometimes, and he has a large brown nymph that he uses, some kind of ISO, and that seems to work well for him at times. And then he has a bottom fly, and often it's a perdigon or something with a bead that represents the bugs that kind of um, it, they're normally found near the bottom of the stream. So, and again, this is dynamically things float all over. Maybe the egg ends up rolling along the bottom, and the other flies off the bottom, off the bottom, depending on water flows and conditions. But um, again, my tendency is to oversimplify, right? So top, middle, and bottom. So I started to organize a single fly box that way at first, where I had a few egg patterns, maybe some Y2Ks, and then for the middle I had some double trouble. If you're not familiar, that's from the Lively Legs guys, or some ISO patterns, something I can put in the middle. Also gets as a fish, it gets the fish's attention because they're large, and then perdigons or sunken ants or even maybe scud patterns as that bottom fly. And I change size and whatever as situations dictate, or depending on location. Oftentimes it's a cased caddis that's the bottom fly on some of the freestone streams where they're very prevalent. So, but it made it easy for me because I could put a handful of bugs from each category in one box. And kind of quickly I outgrew that, and I have more than one box now. I have one little box that's kind of all for bottom flies, and another box that's all dry flies. But for the most part, though, I don't need to have all that stuff with me. I just need to have representative samples from each of the spaces in the water column. So I know today's presentation is more like an audio only podcast thing, but if you're following along in the video, then you'll notice about this time I have a picture of all of those fly boxes that became that manageable pile of things that I need with me in terms of fly boxes and flies. So that little pile here at the end is pretty much something that will fit in my standard size sling bag or sling pack or small hip pack if that's what you use. And I pretty much have everything I need with me for normal conditions on the water. And if I anticipate uh, a hatch or something specific, um, then I can switch something out or add to this, and um, that'll be covered as well. So I hope this helps you out. And sorry there wasn't any dynamic or dazzling video to go with this. But I just wanted to chat a little bit about fly boxes and an approach on the stream. So I hope I accomplished what I set out to do, and if not, I'm sure you guys will comment. So I appreciate you hanging in there to the end, and if you want to learn more about me, look me up on Amazon, and until next time, be safe.